This is my audience. My name is Jessica Partial, and today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about therapy dogs. How many of you have ever come home from a long day at work and wanted nothing more than to be left alone until your dog gives you a big old kiss? We all know firsthand how the unconditional love of our dogs can brighten our days. Imagine facing a dark prognosis from a poorly lit hospital room until a beautiful dog with understanding eyes comes in. Training your dog to share their light is a good way to give your time to someone in need, as well as spending time with your best friend. Therapy dogs not only improve the health and spirit of patients and families, but they also work with healthcare providers to provide actual treatment. I began volunteering at hospice when I was 16, and that's where I was first introduced to therapy dogs. It meant a lot to patients to have volunteers come by and visit with them, but I could always tell a great significant improvement when therapy dogs came to visit, and after they left, how happy they were. The world's most celebrated nurse, Florence Nightingale, once said, "A small pet animal is often an excellent companion for the sick." I'm going to tell you a little bit about therapy dogs. I especially want to talk about how important they are to the healing process, what kind of qualities to look for in a therapy dog, and I want to tell you a little bit how you can become part of an animal therapy team. Let me first begin by telling you about the benefits of therapy dogs for patients. Programs like the Delta Society have a continual call for volunteers and their pet partners to visit patients at various institutions. The Delta Society actually has over 10,000 teams working to improve the health and demeanor of patients. Quantitative data shows that there is recordable improvement in patients after spending time with therapy dogs. Therapy dogs, like our own dogs, can sense when we are feeling sad, and they also work to brighten our spirits. Mostly the dogs just visit patients and say hello, allow patients to rub on them, and sometimes they just snuggle up for a nap. Just as our own pets can calm us down or cheer us up, these therapy dog teams have been proven to decrease anxiety in patients during and after visits, according to Therapy Dogs International. According to an article from the Los Angeles Times, a 2007 study on 76 patients with advanced heart failure received 12 minutes of either pet therapy, a visit from just a volunteer, or just their normal care. The results showed that compared to others, the patients that received the pet therapy showed a significant reduction in blood pressure and also a reduction in the stress hormones epinephrine and norepinephrine. Another study profiled by the Los Angeles Times showed that patients interacting with therapy dogs half an hour before an MRI showed reduced anxiety. This study actually shows that dogs can be used in place of drug therapy to reduce stress and anxiety. These assistant dogs also work with healthcare providers, as you can see in this picture, to encourage patients to meet goals in improving their health. These dogs actively work with doctors and patients as a way to motivate and treat patients for good behavior, so to speak. A speech-language pathologist, Amy Johnson, describes how she used Sylvia, which was a 5-year-old retriever, to motivate one of her patients with her speech problems. Her patient would get excited to interact with Sylvia and would practice speaking by telling Sylvia to go through a plastic tunnel that she had, which also made her very excited to see the dog perform tricks. Now that I've told you a little bit about the benefits of dog therapy, let me tell you about what kind of qualities to look for in your own dog. There are many people that enjoy volunteering at their local health facilities and that may want to build a team with their own dog, but there are certain qualities that you need to look for in your dog because a hospital environment can be very difficult for some dogs. Therapy dogs have to be capable of ignoring their environment, as you can see here in this picture. They need to ignore other people and other dogs and strange smells that might occur. They also need to be able to ignore loud noises in a chaotic environment. These dogs need to be friendly to strangers, and they also need to be well trained and obedient so that the trainer can control their dog in any situation that may arise in a hospital setting. Now that I've told you about the benefits and the characteristics that you are looking for in your dog, let me tell you a couple of simple steps for becoming a pet therapy team. While there are many different organizations that coordinate animal therapy, the Delta Society is one of the most widely known in the United States. Through the Delta Society, a pet owner and a dog can complete a few simple steps to become a registered member of the Pet Partners. This is their logo. Of course, your dog has to be at least a year old and not have a violent history before you can even consider joining. The next step for you is to go through a training course. This is so that the human end of the team knows what to expect and how to handle situations that can arise. Next, your dog needs to be screened by a vet to make sure there are no health problems and that your dog is safe to interact with other people with a weakened immune system. You will then be evaluated with your dog to see how well you partner with them. You're going to be performing certain tricks and other obedience commands. In a role-playing situation, there's going to be distractions to simulate other situations that might happen in a hospital environment. Now, once you finish this, all you have to do is submit your application and you'll receive your registration. And then you can begin your service at a local healthcare facility and bring smiles to the faces of patients that you visit. As I mentioned before, therapy dogs can brighten patients and their families' day. They brighten their spirits, they reduce their stress, and they work with doctors to help with therapy. You've now learned about the health benefits of therapy dogs. You also know what kind of characteristics it takes to become a therapy dog and the steps that it takes to become part of a therapy dog team. Now I'm urging you to evaluate your life. If you found that you have extra time and you're wanting to give it up to brighten somebody else's day, and you have an uplifting dog that you think will work well with you and other patients in this environment, then please consider becoming a therapy dog team. You can visit your local healthcare facility or one of many reputable therapy dog institutions online and find out more information on how you can contribute. Training your dog to become a therapy dog can not only bring joy to other people's lives, but it can also bring you closer to your pet. It has been clinically proven that therapy dogs lower patients' blood pressures and their stress hormones. We see this in our own daily lives when we come home to our dogs. It's amazing how easy and natural it can be for you and your dog to improve your own life and the life of someone else. Thank you. I'll show my audience again, although it's a little dark. You see?
We made it.
Alright.